To improve governance of investment projects, we have created a mechanism aimed at speeding the implementation of large infrastructure projects. Many of you are aware that infrastructure investment requirement in India is very high. During the current 5-year plan, 2012-17, it is expected that $1 trillion is to be invested in Indian infrastructure sectors, and 50% of it are expected to be from the private sector. A defining article of our economic reforms program is our abiding confidence to foreign direct investment as a vehicle for economic progress. India is rated as one of the preferred investment destinations for overseas investors. FDI inflow reached $35 billion in 2011-12. Though it has thereafter declined somewhat, I am confident that with the revival of the global business sentiments, we will be able to draw significant investments from abroad. To ease FDI flows, we have enhanced FDI limits in several sectors like retail and telecommunication, and removed restrictions in the banking sector. Sectors with high linkage to infrastructure, automobile, steel and cement, enjoyed a vast growth in India. The infrastructure sector offers a great opportunity to enhance the productive use of foreign investments. I am hopeful investment picking up soon to our economy. I want to add a footnote here by saying that though India's GDP growth rate was 4.5% in 2012-13, it was still higher compared to many other countries. With the growth rate in 2013-14 estimated at 4.9%, I am confident that we have crossed the inflection point and will return to the high growth trajectory of 7 to 8% sooner than later. Ladies and gentlemen, recent aberrations notwithstanding, our macroeconomic situation, price stability, fiscal balance, external sector will aid higher growth in future. Fiscal consolidation is a key agenda for economic management in many countries. In India, a large amount of the financial savings get absorbed in meeting the government deficits, leaving a smaller portion for investment. Steps have been taken towards fiscal consolidation, like deregulation of diesel and petroleum prices, showing encouraging results, reducing the fiscal deficit progressively to its final goal of 3%, which we achieved in 2007-8, to be achieved by 2016-17, and it is within our reach. Our macroeconomic fundamentals remain strong as evidenced by the fact that the overall public debt to GDP ratio has come down substantially from 86% in 2003-4 to 66% in 2012-13. India's external debt is only 21.2% of GDP. Our foreign exchange reserves at over $292 billion provide us sufficient insulation from any short-term discrepancy in the external sectors. Having said that, there has been a disconcerting volatility in India's external sector in recent times, marked by a high current account deficit of 4.8% of GDP in 2012-13. This has been compounded by volatility in the capital flows as foreign institutional investors reacted to the reduction in the United States Federal Reserve's monthly bond buying program by readjusting their portfolio in the markets of the emerging economies. Not only India, some other market economies have also been seriously affected by it. This factor has had a least effect on Indian markets than the other emerging markets, given that our equity benchmark index, that is Sensex, reached record levels in December 2013. Nevertheless, there has a temporary impact on our exchange rate, which has since moderated and gradually being stabilized. As our current account deficit is expected to reduce to 3.7% in 2013-14 and further down to 2.5%, our external sector will only strengthen in the near future. The financial sector is the lifeblood of any economy. Reforms in this sector in India have been continual and progressive. We have initiated the process to harmonize the financial sector legislation, rules and regulations. We have enacted a new Companies Act in 2013, replacing the 1956 Act to consolidate and amend the laws relating to companies. A law has also been enacted making the pension fund regulatory a statutory authority. This will help to develop the pension fund sectors. Reforms in tax laws have been envisaged which will bring about a sea change in the revenue management. This will be implemented after developing a broad national consensus essential in a vibrant federal democratic structure like India. Ladies and gentlemen, in India and much of developing world, the growing challenge is not merely the quantum of growth per se. An equally important dimension is the degree of inclusivity in growth, the extent of people participation in the growth process. Employment generation and capacity building are crucial part of the strategy to usher in inclusive, job-led growth. We adopted a national policy on skill development in 2009 with an aim to create 500 million skilled hands by 2022. Our higher educational infrastructure, comprising universities, technical institutions, and management tech schools, have expanded. Many of our institutions, Indian Institutes of Technology, Indian Institutes of Management, offer education at par with global standards. For other institutes, we are making a determined effort to enhance the quality of education. World-renowned universities have also evinced a keen interest in offering learning opportunities for students in India. I am happy to note that India is a prominent research hub for Harvard Business School. Its India Research Center, launched in Mumbai in 2006, has till date collaborated with business leaders, educators in India on over 55 research projects. I compliment the center and urge them to continue this good work. Financial inclusion too is a strategy and also an imperative to bring in inclusive growth. Technology and institutional innovations have enabled us to undertake an exercise of gigantic proportions to achieve unique identification of the entire population. This will facilitate better access to the growing banking network and also ensure prompt delivery of the welfare benefits. A growth that is faster, more inclusive, sustainable is impending reality in India. As the number of middle-class consumers continues to swell, our market is likely to become more attractive for global business. India's economic fundamentals remain intact, and so is its growth story. I invite all of you to be a part of this unfolding saga. ladies and gentlemen, in this debate on growth, it is worth remembering what Philip Kotler, the acclaimed expert on marketing, had once said, and I quote, "Today, you have to run faster to stay in place," unquote. Corporate leaders have to manage the development of their business into models of excellence. This calls for wider application of management principles in business and better appreciation of the socio-economic reality in which they operate. The corporate world is not charity zone. At the same time, they are meant not only to earn profits for their shareholders, but also to add value to the society at large. Business leaders would do well to build this emerging gospel of doing business into their corporate framework. I will be happy if you put the skills required by you in the acquired by you in the HBS Owner President Management Program to good use in transforming your ventures and the lives of our people. I wish all of you present here the very best for the future. I also wish the faculty all success in their future endeavor. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Respected President, thank you very much for inviting us to be here with you today and for sharing your tremendous insights on the power of what we can do together in India in the future. I think that for all of us, these insights will help us move forward with greater motivation, greater intensity, and greater passion as we work together to solve the problems of the world and to create a brighter future. So thank you very much for having us.